Welcome to your doom.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
His wedding day is the 138th wedding or day of the year, which is ironic because today is our 138th episode. Yeah.
I start getting nervous. Like, is that shit I'm supposed to know? Like, I don't know when mine is.
You don't know when your wedding day
No,
is?
it's like upper twos.
No, it's your 11th? Yeah. Oh. How many years have you been married, Jake?
Too many. I know I used to be weird, nervous about it. It's like 15 or something. But, and then they did the thing like, what, you don't know? And then, like, I looked at Lindsay and she didn't know either. So I'm like, all right, I'm off the hook. No, it feels like
It's mutual destruction.
Well, it feels like when someone's like, how many beers have you drank? I'm like, I don't know. I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of beers.
If you've been pulled over, it's just, I had 2.
Yeah. But someone cute's talking to me 2 years.
I had 2 3 years ago.
Well, that's very romantic. You're a better husband.
Yeah.
You know the day, you care, you remember her name. That's sweet. You know what she did in the day. I come home like, oh, you didn't leave? All right. She doesn't listen to this.
I'm leaving.
Yep.
That's why you gotta stay single.
So what's with all this skull crap?
What was all the skull crap?
Yeah.
Oh, you noticed?
Yeah, I did.
Well, it's because I need your skull.
Oh.
There we go. Hey,
we keeping count?
We got a Misfits counter. Okay, so
That's
listeners,
one.
this is episode 138.
Why is 138 significant to the Misfits?
Well, because it's time to be an android, not a man. There we go. And that's 2, right? Yeah. And honestly, if you like the Misfits and you have an Apple phone, it's fucked up, man.
Why? I like the Misfits. I have an Apple phone.
Well, because he's clearly singing about Android phones.
There's going to be a deep cut for everyone.
There we go. Everyone. 3 people are getting that. All right. So honestly, I think that my favorite 138 reference right now is gonna cross over because Tony sent in that. Do you know how many running minutes Fight Club has?
No. Is it 138?
It is 138. So there you go. So there's your Fight Club reference for the episode.
Barnyard fallacy. Barnyard shooter fallacy.
Yeah. You draw the target after.
Yeah, you draw the target after you shoot. So you look like a great shot.
There you go. Okay, so actually speaking of wedding anniversaries. Oh, by the way, I'm Adam Horror Business Riley.
Thought you'd have something clever for this. I'll be Jake Angel Fuck. Busty.
Wait, did you Google?
No,
Misfits references?
I knew it. I knew it. I'd written it down so I'd remember what I knew.
Oh, man. Okay, so anyway, so I have to tell you, speaking of wedding anniversaries, and since you mentioned that, I came across something that I thought was super cool. This isn't even a bit or a joke or anything like that, but listener R and listener S, they just celebrated they've been married for a decade now. Okay. And so I guess you could say that they've been tenured, but they did their... Oh, fuck you guys. Anyway, so they did their wedding anniversary in Hawaii, and they went to the USS Arizona.
All better husbands than I am. You went somewhere with her?
Yeah.
You're already married to her.
Yeah. I thought to celebrate our wedding, I would just leave you alone. But no. So this is something I did not know. But I guess that, and this isn't a bit, but during Pearl Harbor, if you were on like the USS Arizona, and you were a survivor, they will actually you can have divers take your remains down to the Arizona.
I don't know if I'd want that.
I think I would.
That is cool, but
I mean, it's such a bonding, like intense moment, right?
Sure.
But and actually, the listener R said that they had
if I got out of the Twin Towers. No, I'm sorry. You continue with your.
No, let's hear it. I want to hear it. Finish it.
I don't think I would want to be taken to One World Trade Center.
Yeah.
I don't know. Actually, it's either it's World Trade Center or Yoo-Hoo Factory. Throw me in the mixer.
Honestly, I think that if I survived Pearl Harbor, I would want my remains to be brought to the USS Arizona.
Okay, I think.
But also, I don't want to be cremated. Just zip tie me to the poop deck.
We'll put you in one of those new submarines that collapse.
But no, anyway, I thought that was kind of neat.
It is
actually,
cool.
no, it is. It's because I guarantee you that was just like life changing for some of those people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, sometimes if someone's vegan, you hear about it a lot. I imagine it's probably a little bit of that with Pearl Harbor.
You think surviving Pearl Harbor is like being vegan?
I don't know, man.
I will say, actually, Pearl Harbor did change my grandma's life.
Yeah?
Because she lived in Hawaii during the time.
Sure.
And actually, I think my great grandfather, he died in Hiroshima. They got a letter, basically. It was like the war was over. He was somehow supposed to be part of the rebuild effort. So they moved back to Wisconsin, and they got a letter that was like, "Hey, he died in Hiroshima." So it's either that
he
or
was the fat man,
right? Well, there's also part of me that's like,
boy.
he might have just met a wife. I might just have relatives over there. It's just like, yeah, I don't want to go back. But
Tony, I love you, man, but this thing is killing my head.
yeah.
Okay, so, but no, I don't know. I thought that was, and actually, a listener said that that there's actually a plaque, and they have blank spots, and they will add your name to the list of people whose remains are on the USS Arizona.
Is the Arizona the one that has the museum floating over the top of it where you can look down?
Okay,
Okay,
I probably should have said all that.
no,
first,
I've tattooed a memorial photo of that, so like I know exactly what it is. So it's
yeah,
very cool.
no, it's. I mean, obviously, I made the joke about the vegan thing, but I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like an intensity behind it, and even though you said the Twin Towers, I mean, there's.
It was pretty funny. We laughed.
I mean, I remember everyone but me laughing. It was a very somber moment for me.
Yeah.
I probably laughed.
Yeah.
I laugh at everything.
Yeah.
I laugh at jingling keys like a baby.
I was gonna say, I have a Misfits story.
Ooh.
Since we're doing all this,
Let's hear that.
so anyone with kids, did you have to sing your kids to sleep? No. Okay. So that was the only thing to get my kids to sleep. But I would fall asleep if I sang kid songs, so I would sing inappropriate songs to them. So my favorite song to sing was "Last Caress" by the Misfits. Which
I don't even know. I think the AI is gonna flag you, like the AI that listens, that screens all of the YouTube videos. If you even say the lyrics, so listeners, there's your stop and Google moment.
Yeah.
I want you to stop and Google "Last Caress" lyrics.
But just slow it down.
Hey
nice.
Siri, Google "Last Caress" lyrics.
All my shit's going off.
Yeah, and then imagine Jake singing this to his child with their mother in the next room.
It did the trick. It did the trick. Actually, I never thought that would backfire singing to him, but
it did the trick. But they're just like, oh my god, just squinting through an eye, going, I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Leave her alone.
Well, he's like, I'll pretend to fall asleep. You stop making noise. That's what it was. No, but I remember he was. It was a swim lesson. He was like 5. I never thought it'd backfire, but the lifeguard to the kid said, "Sing a line from your favorite song and jump in the pool." And he goes, 6 a.m. day after Christmas.
Brick?
He sings "Brick" by Ben Folds 5, and I got nervous.
That song about an abortion?
Yeah, but I was looking around to the parents like, what? He doesn't know it's about an abortion. It's a lovely song.
He survived.
Yeah. Next kid's like, Michael, bro, you're just like, I'm a shit dad.
Oh man, that's funny.
Terrible dad. Actually, I saw something. I want to go right into. We were talking about being married,
Sure.
and my wife's a reader, and we were at the bookstore the other day, and I saw. Have you seen this? It's like it's a blind date with a book.
No.
So they take a book, they wrap it, and they give you a loose description of what the book is on the outside, and you buy it, and then you unwrap it
Your wife went on a blind date.
with a book. No, she thought this was like
Was it 50 Shades of Grey?
But I was sitting there thinking, like, I don't want to find out that I actually wanted to read Twilight. Like, I don't want to find out that I'm gay from a book. Like, oh, Bridge to Terabithia.
Man, I like that.
That's fine. Yeah, I couldn't think of, but it was. I don't know. It's like, is that what you got to do to move books, trick people?
Well, I mean, it's probably like I remember there's the exclusive company here in Janesville where you could just buy like I think they're just trying to get some of their old
bundles.
You buy like the mystery bag of like, hey, $20 you can have these 6 CDs. You're like, all right.
That's how they moved all those Nickelbacks. It's 6 Nickelback albums.
Look at these Nickelbacks.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So actually, I have to tell you, I was thinking about like when I was looking into the USS Arizona after Wisnar was saying that, I started thinking about some of my stuff when I was in the military, and remember the movie American Beauty?
Yeah, love it.
And so I remember I was over in Okinawa. Speaking of like Pearl Harbor, but no, I was over in Japan. And I remember I was watching that movie in the theater. You know, of course, you know, I'm in uniform. Everyone else in uniform. You're on base, you know, at the theater. And we were watching American Beauty. And in there, remember the guy's like, you know, the tough guy neighbor. He introduced himself. He's like, you know, there's like Colonel Frank Fritz, United States Marine Corps. Everyone's like, bah, hoorah, hoorah, right? There's like just gets super loud. And then I remember later on in the movie, I don't know if this is a spoiler for this like 25-year-old movie, but when he kisses Kevin Spacey, it got real quiet, and I just go, hoorah!
Yeah. You got to throw a question mark on it. Hoorah!
Yeah, but
Fuck, that went up at the end.
That's how I broke the silence. That was the funniest I've ever been in the military.
Yeah. Actually, I have something that I can tie into that. So Kevin Spacey, he is one of the people I believe that was painted by that famous painter that did the painting of King Charles.
Oh my gosh.
Did you see that?
Dude, I am watching my news feed, just nothing but conspiracy theories. I really need to I saw like and I don't know if I'm like taking your stuff here, but I saw like
no, you're not. Go, keep going.
Oh, okay. So no, I saw where I need better editing on my phone skill, because they're saying like, oh, if you invert this image and flip
I was
it.
doing this.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, no, it's like if anyone looks up the image, it's strangely red. Like he looks like he's
jarring.
He looks like he's in soup or something. Like is it taken? He's floating from the top. So Jonathan, I believe, Yeo is his last name.
No soup for you.
Is a British artist who rose to international prominence in his early 20s as a contemporary portraitist.
Are his other portraits like that? I mean, this is his style. Like, because I'm assuming that Prince or King Charles has like carte blanche as far as like, I want this person to paint me.
It seems like it was a artistic choice because King Charles expressed, because I guess he sat for it 4 times over the course of a few years.
Dude, and sit for it. Take a photo of me.
Well, no, you gotta with portrait, you gotta capture him. But so having painted Kevin Spacey. So that's where it connected to Dennis Hopper, Damien Hirst, Prince Philip, King Charles, Queen Kamala, whatever. He's painted people. And they do seem to have a distinct, like almost a monochromatic, flavor to it. But the King's was insanely red. And I think he's also, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't he currently staying at what's considered Dracula's castle? He's seeming, and with a cancer diagnosis, he seems to be going out of his way.
Isn't that in like Austria or something? Romania, yeah.
But it might be getting like treatments there or something. Okay. There was some weirdness around it. But I too was like, there's got to be some hidden dick in this background. I was zooming in because there's like
plot twist. He painted it all with his dick.
Right. That would actually be interesting. Mushroom stamps. It was a large painting. It's like 9 feet by.
Actually, I know the dimensions because that's part of the conspiracy. It's 8 foot by 6 inches and 6 foot by 6 inches. So people are going
devil.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean that's.
Did you see? And there's like a butterfly in there, which you're like a monarch. And I thought like, okay,
but
and to me,
that like a royalty pun?
Monarch is royalty, but to me, I'm like, okay, there's got to be something with this. I'm looking at the artist, and then I read that it was Charles' idea to have the monarch in, and I'm like, oh, that monarch looks like it was put there begrudgingly. I'm like, the fucking dude wants a goddamn butterfly. In this. Yeah, we get it. A monarch's a monarch. Like,
that's a hat on a hat, buddy.
Yeah. So, and that's what that was. It says here, roughly 2 years before Charles' coronation, he began doing this painting.
King that took that guy 2 years to smear that?
No,
shit?
2 years before the coronation. So since June 2021, he's been working on this.
Man, that sounds like like lawyers just kind of like rack up the fees for hourly rates.
I don't know. Maybe this is like
you left a voicemail. I had to listen to it.
Maybe this is their version of like our George Washington that's unfinished. You know that famous painting that's over here? There was something about that where he was copying it to sell it, and I forgot exactly what it was. But so critics have said Charles' face is like a disembodied specter of death floating between violent brushstrokes.
It is jarring. And I'll be honest with you, I saw it when they did the unveiling. I'm like, all right, I'll look at this. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That was my first. I was like, really?
He looks like he's in a Jell-O mold.
Man,
like a gelatinous
Jim
cube
got him.
is killing him.
Jim from The Office got him, dude. He got him good.
Jim Jell-O mold. So Washington Post, Sebastian Smee, which this guy was fucking uppity. I'm an art critic named Sebastian Smee. Yeah. It's confused, obsequious, oversized, and unaccountably frightening. Is his review of this.
Frightening is a good way to say it.
And all I see when I see it, for YouTube listeners, is
fucking
Ghostbusters 2 Vigo.
Yeah.
Which was a powerful painting that involved red slime.
Yeah.
So, I think it's simply an homage to Ghostbusters 2. That's my critique.
That's your big takeaway?
Yeah. Otherwise, well, the other thing is I really like art history, obviously, but there was some stuff where I just think the person that curated the painting got a hold of the explanation for it. Like, there was this one where it's a picture of the building and the sky was red, and they were like, he painted the sky red to symbolize the fall of the French, blah blah blah. And I was just thinking, like, maybe he was out of blue. It's not a fucking Michaels back then. You gotta wait for flowers, you gotta crush it up with oils and shit. This is called done.
Yeah.
So
no, I do love like the pretentiousness behind like a lot of art shit.
Like everything done perfectly.
Yeah, exactly.
Jackson Pollock was drunk.
Yeah. Dude, I literally
his last Pollock, he used a young woman's body on a dashboard.
Yeah, she's on the radio that night.
Yeah.
And the windshield and the center console. No, so I actually, it's funny that you say that because I just did some abstract paintings just really quick just to.
And I liked it.
Yeah, sure. But I realized I accidentally pollocked myself because I don't know if you knew this or not, but I remember I'm going off the cuff.
You got drunk?
Yeah, and flicked cigarette butt.
Sure.
No, but I remember they accidentally hung a Pollock painting upside down, like a museum did for a while. And
there's no upside down.
I realized that with one of my paintings, I was like, "Oh, whoops!" And I had to flip it because I'm like, "That doesn't flow." But like that's so it's funny that you're talking about Pollock because it's like it's the same amount of talent, which is none.
Yeah. But this is the thing where it's just like art is. I do like as much as I don't like Andy Warhol. He's right.
Art is what you can get away.
Art
with.
is what you can get away with. Yeah. I think it's all a bunch of money laundering.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't require the artist to have talent, then you can money launder for really cheap. That's what I think a lot of the art world is. But let's crawl out of it. I got one more picture of Vigo.
Let's see it.
Let's see.
Hell yeah.
For YouTube listeners.
Dude, I think you need to Photoshop his face on top of Charles's painting.
No one would notice. you know why he's going to be a shitty king? This is why, because he's
couldn't be dead in 3 days.
He couldn't even kick his mom down the stairs 20 years ago. What kind of king is that?
Yeah. If you don't commit regicide, Jake doesn't respect you. All right, so actually,
would it be maticide?
I don't know. Isn't regicide killing royalty?
Is there like
Tony? You're a fact checker.
Is there feminine, masculine forms of killing royalty?
All right. Actually, you know what? Something that we haven't done for a few episodes here, but I'm gonna shoehorn this one in.
Okay.
We've been trying to keep Jake up. Wait, is it regicide? Yep. Boom. There you go, Jake.
Congratulations on your word prowess.
You know what? No, we're gonna check Jake's word prowess here now. Now this
Let's get him a cape. He's the vocabulator.
We've been testing Jake lately to see how cool and hip he is. You ready for some slang words? This is actually this listener write-in from listener A. She wants to find out if you can figure out what this means so you can relate with your children. The word here is ate, ATE, not the number.
Okay.
Right. And so, for example, that person ate and left no crumbs. I'm going to give you 3 choices, and you have to guess which one is the real one.
Okay.
Okay. So,
bet
if someone. Holy shit! It's Jason Bourne. All right. So anyway, so again, this person ate and left no crumbs. Now, does this mean that someone A did a very good job and did no mistakes? B is very selfish, unwilling to share with others, or C is terrible with their money, living paycheck to paycheck. Again, I'll read it. That person ate and left no crumbs. This means that someone, 1, did a very good job and did not do any mistakes. Number 2, is very selfish, unwilling to share with others. Or number 3, is terrible with their money, living paycheck to paycheck.
I just got to go for the one that I hope it is. I hope it's number 1. That's a good term, if that's what it means. You got a number 3 in the audience. 1, 3, 1.
Wow, you're the outlier.
Yeah, I just think I like that. Look
at this guy.
Yeah. If I'm right, I'm going to use this. I ate this challenge.
Listeners, Jake ate and left no crumbs. Because
right.
it is number one. Did you really know that? Or
No,
did
I
you
didn't.
guess?
No, I mean
Wow,
that's
look at
just
you.
that's my hope. It was the one that made the most sense.
Well, there you go.
These kids got some. They're getting
Riz?
better. Yeah.
Jake's got some Riz.
Yeah, not just Glizzles or whatever. What the fuck's going on with them?
We're making Jake very hip right now.
Yeah, it's working.
Actually,
I've noticed.
Did you hit him with like touch grass, right? Or what did you hit your kids with?
Yeah, I've said it before. They looked at me like someone had talked.
Like who gave you the source code?
But I saw touch grass at a store the other day. It was like a picture of like frisbees and shit, and it just said touch grass, and I'm like, it's dead.
Yeah, corporations are doing it. It's not
Assimilated.
cool anymore. And we're back. And during our potty break, we just realized that one of our audience members got married in Hawaii. And you said the Arizona what?
So the tour guide said that there was like a legend that when the last survivor gets buried back in the Arizona, that it would stop leaking oil.
If you can't hear that on the microphone, basically when the last survivor of the USS Arizona gets buried on the ship, that it will, I guess the oil from the ship will stop leaking. But then we also had Tony on the case.
Yeah, we're going to plug that hole.
Stuff
it in.
Jake said that the ashes are plugging the hole.
Ashes.
But then Tony just looked it up, and I guess the last survivor just passed away a month ago.
Yeah.
So we need to talk to listener R and listener S and find out if that shit's still leaking. So
sad.
yeah, yeah. Why am I'm like being so macabre about it?
Yeah,
so.
like I could do a 9/11 joke again. If you need to pull out, here's something that'll raise your spirits. Gen Z,
like raising Arizona.
Yeah, Gen Z might potentially.
That's Nicolas Cage, guys.
Gen Z might potentially be facing a blindness epidemic.
Screens.
So the blindness epidemic.
I knew it.
They think
Mom was right.
That's what. Yeah, I thought like we were fed that bullshit, and that was just to get us out of the way of the television. But it turns out that during their
you make
formative,
a better door than a goddamn fucking kid in the way.
But during their formative years, having a screen so close to their face definitely affects the, because if you're nearsighted or farsighted, I think nearsighted basically your eye is shorter back to front.
Okay.
Farsighted, it's more elongated, and it seems like there's a lot more diseases that are that a nearsighted eye is susceptible to.
When the vision goes, because does it go back to front to back? Because I think you'll get a UTI if you go the other way, right?
Like he's gonna make a wiping joke. He's gonna make a wiping joke about our children's eyes.
Well, my kids don't exist, so I can say whatever jokes.
But this is good news for me because it is an effective thing to threaten blindness for sitting too close. Because I remember backing up a little bit, just a tiny bit, backing up from that 8-bit Nintendo Pixel from just blasting Duck Hunt's brains out like a fucking Boeing whistleblower.
I like it when people suicide themselves with two rounds.
Speaking of which, there's been another Boeing whistleblower that has died.
A third?
Oh, third. Well, a second.
Oh, a second. Okay,
the second now leading to a fun joke that I like to say that like the only thing Boeing employees love blowing more than whistles is their brains out. No, he died of a staph infection at 45.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Okay, so actually, we were talking about art earlier.
We were.
Let me get you out of that before Jake gets suicided. So, which are you feeling? Are you depressed at all? You good?
Massively.
Okay. Oh no, this is not
I'm also
good.
not a quitter.
Okay, so anyway, I just want to outlive my enemies.
Yeah.
So if you see me like starting shit with like younger people,
Yeah.
that's not, like if I'm talking shit to a baby, what are you fucking staring at, bro? All right, so anyway, so an Australian museum wants to exclude men and was sued for anti-discrimination laws.
Okay.
So they're fixing the problem with their recent installation.
I'm confused.
By installation, I mean in a very literal way. They are installing a toilet. And so
Okay.
yeah, so are you not getting this?
No, I'm
so
not
there's a
getting it.
women's only museum.
Okay.
They weren't allowing men in. So this one guy in particular was upset and wanted to go to this museum, and probably just to be contrarian.
Sure.
And so in order to keep all men out, they're putting a toilet in there, so they're considered a woman's bathroom instead.
I don't understand why they don't want men in there in the first place. Like, what is the museum for? Is it
Well, let me just. I've got a quote here. I'm going to do my
history
best.
of bitches? Like I just like. And I mean that in the most respectful term. Like,
it's about female dogs.
It's about female empowerment.
Right.
And
so this is a quote. It says there's a fabulous toilet coming to the ladies' lounge, and that's what it's called. And so that in that sense, oh my God. So in that sense, the ladies' lounge will operate as a ladies' room. It's a toilet that has celebrated the world around. It's the greatest toilet, and men won't be allowed to see it.
I'm guessing this is once it's installed, men are no longer allowed.
Yeah, because it'll be classified because obviously the court is like not allowing them to.
I just mean it probably wasn't a female plumber that put it in.
Oh, yeah.
Like I just.
So I can, but honestly though, I can appreciate like women wanting to have a space of their own, and they do allow men in the place, but only one day a week. It's Sundays, and literally men go in there on Sundays, and they are taught how to iron and fold laundry.
I don't like what they're doing.
I honestly think it's hilarious. I really do.
I don't like this is all.
And I do appreciate the comedy of that, but I also think that it'll be just a matter of time.
What's the average hair color?
It's blue, I'm sure. But but after that toilet's installed, there's only a matter of time before someone comes in dressed as a woman and just shows the ladies what happens in the men's room. And they're gonna, like the horror business, if you may. Is that 5? Number 5? So anyway,
I'm guessing that's a song.
It's gonna be a ghouls night out. All right, 6. All right. So, but no, but like just a night of Foster's beer too.
Sure.
Just like beer shits. But anyway, but honestly, like here's my thought process: is if a guy wants to go into a women only area, they should allow it. They really should, because I think that problem will fix itself. Because I'm not sure if you've ever felt like the sting of not belonging somewhere or like feeling invisible. Just all of us. We're all about the same age, right? And we're all guys in this room right now. Go to any college bar.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
like if you don't already feel invisible or feel awkward with like a couple like sneers and like points and laughter,
they'll think you own it.
You're gonna, yeah. just go in there with ID.
Just go in there with a clipboard and a light.
Yeah, but
you could probably just get go right in the kitchen, get whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so that's what I was getting at. Is that like, man, I've been in areas where I'm like, I should not be here. Like I'm leaving. But on a serious note, though, female listeners who live in Janesville, this is real. And Jake will actually, I'm going to jog Jake's memory here. There's the women's club building located in downtown Janesville. The second floor of that, they actually have the Janesville Art League.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember this?
It's amazing.
I remember, like, I think, why were we there?
We were given a seminar on tattooing.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay,
it was like a luncheon. It was a really
this was like
great
10, 12 years ago. But yeah, they did a luncheon. They had us come and do for the women's club, but inside Janesville, like downtown Janesville, and just random old building, there is just a massive area where there's just tons of art.
It was probably
amazing art.
It was the best art museum I've ever been in, and I only say that because what it was a tall ceiling room. And they had a wall-to-wall collection of art. But what was interesting,
like Hogwarts.
It was like these paintings were next to each other, and because of that, you could like just see the different styles. There was marble sculptures in there too. Like you've been in like the Milwaukee one, everything. It's a painting spaced out.
Yeah,
it's very but just something about the condensed nature of seeing all those styles together was really a neat thing to see. So if you're in Janesville and you're looking for a place to go for the afternoon, it's great.
I just was like, how have I?
Yeah.
For one, not been here, but two, like never heard of this place. So literally Janesville.
It was weird at the luncheon because they were old ladies and they were very concerned about like where my family was from. They're like, "Where does your family hail from?" And I didn't know, which they kind of tissed at. Like that's still very important to them. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm like. I don't know. Europe. And they're like, well, obviously. And they're like, what is cool down 23andMe?
Yeah.
23andMe, ma?
All right, I said that one, actually. That was my joke.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, thank you. So anyway, anyway, so with that being said, female listeners, actually, I shouldn't say that. I should say all listeners, because they do allow obviously it's a women's club building, but they do allow all people that appreciate art to go to the Janesville Art League. So there you go. Open to both genders.
Very cool. And we try to mask our fear and sickness being behind a cool facade.
Is that number 7?
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys don't know that one? All right.
Well,
you guys don't know that? You guys don't know that Misfit lyric?
Maybe you guys need a hat pin in your retina and unbosom all your past.
What are you guys, a bunch of teenagers from Mars?
These are some deep cuts. All right, you want another deep cut, Jake?
Yeah.
All right, so I've got here's an Urban Dictionary, and this is again going to follow.
Oh, I have a terrible Urban Dictionary.
You have a terrible one?
I removed it because it was like I'm not doing that one.
Well, wait, hold on. Why don't you go? I want to hear yours.
Disclaimer: it's terrible.
All right, I'm listening.
This is one of those like I'll find one of those fun sex moves. You know, the Cleveland Steamer, all that. Like,
is it poop related? Is it?
No.
Okay, good. All right, so are you doing the same 2 lies and a truth?
No, because I was going to, but I was like, I'm not doing it. It's too gross. Now here I am doing it. It's called an Oklahoma Twister.
You grab somebody by the panhandle.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, I wanted to do the fun.
Yeah.
I wanted to do the fun guessing, but honestly, the description's so long, it would be like just too much. So this is what it is: Oklahoma Twister, according to UrbanDictionary.com.
Well, hold on. Can we at least guess?
Oh, of course you can guess.
Okay. Who wants to guess what it is? I mean, obviously, I'm assuming something because of the panhandle.
You're not going to get it right. Your hint is a lot of destruction had to happen for this to happen.
So you grabbed him by the panhandle.
Yeah.
No, it's an Oklahoma Twister. That's any hand job by a woman because she doesn't know what she's doing and it's all dry and she's got gristly hands.
That ain't bad.
But actually, and longtime listeners are going to know that the reason for the Oklahoma weird thing is because of slavery. Remember
That's
that?
right. Yeah.
Yeah. In case you've ever wondered, like,
the weird.
Why is that parallel? You know. So anyway.
All right. Ready?
Yeah,
I ready for an Oklahoma Twister?
Is it just a fucking guy that works on an oil derrick, just giving you an HJ?
I like all these better than what it really is. So this is again, UrbanDictionary.com. An Oklahoma Twister is first you insert a small quail up your ass.
What?
And cover your knees in crushed bees and feet with a sexually frustrated albino chimp.
Where are you going to find one of those?
While replacing an alternator for 57 Chevy.
All right, this is just Mad Libs.
But I'm saying, like, I thought it was fun, and then I set it aside. I'm like, that's too stupid. But it did remind me of, like, the After the Tornado picture. Or that's just, like, the house spiraled around the tree. You're like, that's an Oklahoma Twister.
I was just thinking more like you just strap. Remember when in the movie Twister when they just they strap themselves to that pipe and they're just like, who lives
Can I
here?
get a realistic ending? Where there's just a bit of blood on that strap.
It's like tethered, like.
They got the data. Dorothy flew.
I'm gonna take us out of that.
All right.
I'm gonna hit us with ours. All right, because this one is an actual game. This is gonna follow the 2 lies and a truth.
Okay.
Because that was bananas. By the way, I would not have guessed that. I don't know why, but I just picture I'd rather have just like a guy smoking a cigarette, but also covered in petrol, you know, like just giving you an oily hand job. All right, so
Well, who doesn't want that?
Yeah. Do you know what a 304 is?
Arizona would stop leaking.
According to Urban Dictionary, do you know what a 304 is? Is someone that is described as a 304? Do you know this? Anyone?
Wait.
All right. So that would have been good. All right. So number 1. A 304 is a euphemism for a promiscuous woman. Number 2, a 304 is a reference to a stupid person's IQ. Number 3, a 304 is a police code for a nude streaker. And if you're a police officer in the audience, you're not allowed to answer yes or no. So don't look at him.
No, that's what Adam does. Adam likes to give what's called false bait. You're like, it's clearly that one. So I'm
yeah, but I don't want him guessing anything. You're not allowed to guess. Because you guys are going to guess.
Sure. Like, all right, I won't take his input, but I'm going to sniff out that it's not a 304. It's a 3 or 4 for an IQ score for a stupid person instead. So it's like a 3 or 4.
It is 304.
I stand by my answer.
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to go with number 2. It's a dumb person IQ.
Anyone else?
I'll go with that.
2, 3? Okay. Number 1.
Really?
It's a euphemism for a promiscuous woman. So the answer is derived from typing 304 into a calculator, then turning it upside down. It spells out hoe.
She's like 8,085.
Oh, is that boobs?
Yes,
yeah.
boobs.
Yeah. So anyway,
what's the other one?
And then I started like,
it's 600.
I know I could do show. Yeah, I did.
Big boobs.
Yeah. No, I thought that was really funny. So like, I guess like if you call someone a 304, like you're a 304, that's cool guy nowadays. So we call someone a hoe.
Yeah, and hoes don't know calculator jokes.
No, they don't. I did feel bad though for women living in that area code. Yeah. And I did look it up.
I was like, what is it?
So I'm just gonna tell you right now, it definitely changed like John Denver's song lyric for me. I guess he was just singing about Mountain of Mama.
Oh, okay.
In West Virginia.
Actually, I can roll that right into a 304. I guess. Did you see Netflix recently? The Baby Reindeer. Baby Reindeer was like the most popular show for a while there.
I heard you talking about it, and I've like it's funny because I tell people because I don't watch TV in my house, but I tell people I watch a lot of TV but no TV.
We do. I've watched Stranger Things like 8 times. I've never actually watched it, but people will watch it while I'm tattooing them. Well, yeah, it's like it's really digest the story.
So and for any new listeners, Jake and I we own a tattoo shop together, but I'm like that awful girlfriend. Like, because I'm always doing something, but I'm like walking by on a watch like for a couple minutes. I'm like, who's that guy? Yeah. Is he bad? Is what's going on right now? Is this still the same thing?
So with Baby Reindeer, I got I'll just do the synopsis for it. Baby Reindeer is a black comedy drama thriller about a sexual assault and stalking. One aspect of the show is
starring Medea?
What's that?
Keep going.
I missed it. What was it?
It was nothing.
Okay, let's keep going.
Edit that out.
All right. Aspect of show that explores is how harassed men or sexually assault men rarely come forward, and female stalkers are often treated as less dangerous. That is true. I will say this is a lie, though. This is not a comedy. It pretends to be a comedy, but it's fucking not. First couple episodes in, you're like, this is I love a good dark comedy. Like one of my favorite ones. Like you remember Very Bad Things? If you haven't seen Very Bad Things with Cameron Diaz,
yeah.
Like one of my favorite genres. This is about a guy getting raped, and this is about a stalker who's this rather like large set crazy woman that sends him like I think it was like 40,000 emails or just something crazy like that. But what the twist was the actual actor of the show apparently had this happen to him. Yeah. So Reddit got on it.
Wrote it or something.
Reddit got on it and found the real life Martha. And the real life Martha looks a lot like the Martha from the show. Got the little picture here. I'll throw it up for the YouTube.
Yeah.
And apparently Martha's getting a little bit of fame for this because in an interview she claimed that the Netflix editors were stalking her, and the first guy she did an interview with, she ended up stalking.
Dude, have you seen that thing where they're trying to they were trying to see how sex offenders have changed their lives? Have you seen this?
No.
And like sex offenders, like, oh, if they can be rehabilitated or not.
Sure.
And then like there's the editor's note at the very end. She's like, it's worth noting.
Yeah.
That like 2 hours after the last recording, so and so sent a picture of his penis to the editor, to the producer or whatever of the show. Like,
I'll never change, baby.
Yeah. Oh man.
But she went on Piers Morgan recently. Now Piers Morgan is catching shit. I don't know a lot of Piers Morgan. He seems to be a guy that kind of does a bit of like gotcha. I tried watching some of the interview. He didn't seem to be like berating her at all. But basically, people are outraged now that she's basically becoming popular for this. I will say it apparently has a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes. And we all know Rotten Tomatoes is captured because it does touch on those, like, if you say anything negative about this, you're disparaging victims.
Sure.
So, like, I'll say this, like, watch it if you're interested in it. And it is a good story. But that does not make it a good show. So,
I mean, you kind of like, I remember you talking about it, and you were like, yeah. The rape scenes are kind of hard to get by. I'm like, listen, I'm out. I'm okay.
I worked hard to find it funny every time. And that is the subtext of it. It's a guy.
Yeah.
Like that's like the subtle.
It does get funnier if it's that.
It honk honk. Well, no, it's like I have a story. It was kind of a joke about this, and I don't know if I said it before, but like, do you ever have a moment when you realized you were sexist? I had this happen actually with my kid.
Were you driving?
No. Okay, so what happened was down the street, I had a son. I have a son, and down the street there was another kid that was the same age.
Don't say past tense.
No, I have a son. Down the street there was a kid that was the same age. I was talking to the parents, and they said so and so actually got beat up across the street at the playground. And so I was, as a concerned parent, I'm like, what happened? And they're like, well, so and so they were playing basketball. 3 kids came over. And they want to play basketball, so they played basketball. Then it turned into let's play truth or dare. So I'm like, uh-oh. And then apparently one dared the other kid to kiss so-and-so, and he didn't want to, so they held him down and kissed him. So immediately I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then she's like, yeah, we don't know who the 3 girls were. And I'm like, oh. And like, I know that's wrong. Like, I know it's wrong, but it immediately became 1,000 times less dangerous. Like, it was, I thought it was a roaming group of like prepubescent boys holding dudes down, kissing boys. And then it became like, oh, hey, Arnold. Like, so I'm a bad dad. I don't.
Yeah, and it's gonna become one of those moments where when that kid's balls drop in 8th grade, he's gonna be like,
he's a great kid too, and like
I said no.
I do feel bad that it happened to him, but like it was interesting to like observe my own internal.
Yeah, doesn't that
just I swear I heard my dad like, is he gonna be okay? Just like that condescending.
No,
get up.
So. I think doesn't Joe Rogan have a bit on that?
He has a great bit.
Yeah, Joe Rogan has a bit on that where he's like, all right, listen, it was terrible. Harvey Weinstein, like, fuck that guy, like whatever. But if there's a Harvina Weinstein, if that happened to your son, you'd be like, dude, you're gonna be Batman.
Yeah. Like, and she had a solid contract offer. Like Jude Law's in the waiting room with a bib on. How bad do you want a Ferrari? And that's the sad part of the world, but it is the truth of the world too. And it's like, let's not pretend it's the same. So Baby Reindeer, it's got a bit of that in there.
Well,
but there's also something about like this guy. It is interesting. It happened to him. He turned it into a story, and now he's successful because of it. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if he
took his stalker with him, that's funny. So that's like
rising tide raises all ships, right?
It says black comedy drama. The only funny part is if you look into what happened outside of the show, then it's funny again.
All right. Well, I don't know how to segue.
Well, actually, let's not get out of that. Let's go right into the other big thing that happened on Netflix, and this actually is a big thing. This is Roast of Tom Brady.
Oh, dude, I have to tell you, I think one of my favorite things that I saw in that was there were like what's the female comedian's name, the blonde one that was on that?
Oh man, I'm spacing, but she did so good.
Yeah, she did so well. But she goes she's describing Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
And she goes, yeah, Kevin Hart is 5'2", 150 pounds, or 155 pounds after The Rock finishes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So gross. And graphic. You got Baby Reindeer.
But I just want to start off by saying like this has got to be interesting for Netflix because there hasn't been a lot of roasts lately.
Sure.
But Netflix, I saw someone did a quote. There was a Netflix executive that's like, dude, we spent $100 million making some action movie that people hate, or we could pay a couple $1 million to a few comedians to do what they do normally.
Yeah.
And the numbers here for the roast, 42.2 million viewing hours or 13.8 million accounts. Like this was far and away, like for comparison's sake, do you remember The Dreamer, Dave Chappelle's big release? It was one of their big flagship releases in December. Okay. That had 9.7 million or 10.2. So this was almost 4 million more accounts tuned in for like just a one night. Everybody get together. Doesn't need to be produced. There's not a lot that can go wrong. And when things go wrong, they actually go right. They just got the right people in there. So I think there's going to be a lot more roast soon because this was massively successful for them.
I mean, it's capitalism. Yeah. If it does well, makes money, it's going to keep happening whether you like it or not. Didn't you say that the wife?
Well, so the funny part about this is like, so I want to hate Tom Brady. Like everybody is supposed to want, but I can't.
I'm not even like a soccer fan, and I don't really care.
Like, so I'm a football fan. Adam doesn't like sports words. But so with Tom Brady, like I know I'm supposed to hate this guy, but I remember when he knocked the Packers out of the playoffs when they were supposed to go, it was the COVID year, and they like there was nobody in the stands. Tampa Bay came into Green Bay and beat them. And they got within earshot of Tom Brady, and he's like yelling something at the crowd and pointing, and they get within earshot, and he's just like, "Can I hug my son?" And I'm like, "I'm supposed to hate this fucking guy? He seems like a fine dude."
Yeah.
So he won again recently, where it was a quote. I don't have the exact one here, but he basically said, because his ex-wife was mad about the remarks made about her, and so he's like, "Wait, so I'm supposed to be outraged that Netflix paid me $25 million for professional comedians to make fun of my wife for cheating on me?" I'm like, fuck, he won again.
Yeah.
Like, all this guy does is win.
And wasn't it her jiu-jitsu instructor?
It was her jiu-jitsu instructor.
A fucking jiu-jitsu.
But I think like, I think he fucked his like coach too. So did she.
Wait, what?
Like, yeah, it's one of those like, this is the thing. It's like he's on the road 9 months out of the year. Certain people shouldn't be married with unlimited means like that. I don't know. I'm not going to comment on their marriage. I will say it was a success for Netflix. I had a good time watching it. My favorite line was by Tony Hinchcliffe, who said Kevin Hart's ancestors picking cotton was like deadlifting. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, he...
and also one of my favorite shows got popularized. Tony Hinchcliffe literally played Kill Tony on a Netflix roast.
Yeah.
So
when he pulled out Dana White?
Yeah, but just like he introduced 13.8 million more people to a YouTube show, which I think there should be more of.
I'll tell you this right now. Actually, here's a great segue because we didn't say it in the beginning. But I will watch Kill Tony, which if you don't watch Kill Tony, it's like every Monday.
Every Tuesday is the release. But yeah.
But I will watch Kill Tony and be like, I saw him at the Comedy Cabin.
In Janesville.
I saw this guy at the Comedy Cabin. I saw that guy at the Comedy Cabin. Every time. Yeah. It's just like, and the people that Nathan at the Comedy Cabin here in Janesville, Wisconsin is getting on, these national acts. They're like legit people that you're seeing like on these amazing shows. So there you go. You can get your tickets at cabinlaughs.com. So there you go. That's our
perfect
segue.
promo. Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
All right, so I got a catfish that I thought we might as well just go right into this.
Do you want to explain to new listeners what a catfish is so they're not like, what in the fuck?
Have we done a catfish yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, so catfish is a while back. I fell down a couple of websites.
Over 4 years ago.
It was that long ago.
You old bitch.
Basically, I came with some stories that I thought were great about a tornado moving a house 300 miles and not killing people inside. Adam pointed out the website's motto was where the truth doesn't matter. I didn't think that mattered. So he made this fun game where basically one of these stories is going to be true of the next three, and one's going to be false. So
two's going to be false.
Two's going to be false. Play along. All right, number one.
Sip break.
It was a sip break. It was a pregnant pause. All right.
Jake's joke is with child. Let's hear it.
Number one. Man says his emotional support alligator, known for its big social media audience, has gone missing.
I hope it's that.
Number two, Children's Museum under fire for introducing Snakes Are Friends campaign, derailed as multiple children were bitten.
Yeah.
Number three, women's best friend, new bill proposed would allow consensual sex between animals only with women.
Oh, I'm going one because
one,
three
two.
Sounds like a goat rope.
Sounds like Idaho has a congressman.
Yeah, one's true, two are false.
Three?
Whoa!
One can hope.
Yeah.
All right, the answer. Buckle up, ladies. No.
Hold on. I'm just trying to think of like Indiana Jones, like with the second one. But no, so read them again.
Okay, number one, man says emotional support alligator, known for its big social media audience, has gone missing. Number two, Children's Museum under fire for introducing Snakes Are Friends campaign, derailed as multiple children were bitten.
Okay.
Number three, women's best friend, new bill proposed would allow consensual sex between animals only with women.
All right, let's hear it. I'm going number one.
One, two, 1, 3. Okay. Answer. A Pennsylvania man who credits an alligator named Wally for helping relieve his depression for nearly a decade says he is searching for the reptile after it went missing during a vacation to the coast of Georgia. Joey Henning.
You just let it off. You can't have animals off leash.
Well, so actually, that's what I was going to go. So it says, has thousands of social media followers following his page devoted to Wally, the cold-blooded companion. It's kind of cute. It's a picture he's hugging it. That he calls his emotional support alligator. He has posted photos. Basically where he's hugging it like a teddy bear. It's 5.5 foot long alligator.
Something that we learned about alligators because we used to
hit it all the time.
Yeah, we used to do a lot of things with alligators. But alligators and crocodiles and like sturgeons and other animals like that are biologically immortal, which means that they don't die of old age. They just get so big that their body mass cannot be contained. They can't
eat enough.
Yeah,
it kind of reminded me how it's like that fact where all whales drown.
Oh, I know, it's so sad.
They get too weak.
They get so old that they're just but like
so we could have like a suma old age home down there. It's just like respirators.
Yeah, just one long like garden hose from their blowhole.
So it says Wally's popularity soared to new heights last year when this is what I remember hearing about him. He was denied entry to a Philadelphia Phillies game. So this guy, he's distraught after Wally vanished while accompanying him on an April vacation to Brunswick, Georgia, a port city 70 miles south of Savannah. He suspects someone stole Wally from the fenced outdoor enclosure where Wally spent the night, which makes me think he went to an Airbnb with an alligator. And someone had a fucking ring cam. They're like, oh, God, my client's going to get bit. And he just...
Yeah. Just look for the guy with the new bloody boots.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
like new shoes. And honestly, like something to remember is if you're not sure if it's an alligator or a crocodile.
This is important.
If you can't tell the distinction, one you'll see later, the other one after a while. So that's how oh, fuck you guys.
So if you don't expect it, gator.
All right. Is that it?
Yeah. That was
okay.
It.
All right. So I don't know how to segue into that. But the Catholic Church is now in the news again.
Yeah, we can connect gators with churches.
Master gators.
Yeah.
All right, so a priest in Pennsylvania is in trouble after
Pennsylvania. There you go. He was Pennsylvania man.
Oh, there we go.
We're segued.
Yes,
we are segued officially.
Beautifully done. Seamless, one may say. So a priest in Pennsylvania is in trouble after he allegedly spent more than $40,000 of church money. Can you guess what it is on?
I gotta be honest. When you said a priest in trouble, I did not think it was a money thing.
That's what I was.
I thought I was like,
I was luring you all into
like,
a
again?
false sense
All right.
of child rape. Anyway, what are some guesses? Give me some guesses.
40,000. I'm gonna say online gambling. That would be my like.
All right.
You can't have sex. You gamble.
More even dumber.
Dumber.
Anyone else?
Trying to pay off the blackmail for the hard drive.
I mean, that makes sense. Though.
That's money well spent.
All right, I'm just gonna hit it with you guys.
Yeah.
All right, he spent over $40,000 on power-ups for games on his cell phone like Candy Crush and Mario Kart.
Honestly, the sex energy has to go somewhere.
Dude, just
and he is crushing candy.
Yeah,
not puss.
Pent up. And here's the thing: it's just like, how old is this motherfucker? Dude, he's 51 years old.
Honestly, leave him alone. This is fine.
Leave him alone.
This is fine. Like you're like he's in trouble. It's weird. Like he didn't touch a kid. He's fine. Leave him alone. He's
man, dude. Like
not even one Hail Mary.
I think he's just finding like a less harmful way to fuck kids over. You know what I mean?
That's fine.
You know, like it just like blue sparks then on Mario Kart.
It would be funny if he played Call of Duty just to fuck little kids all day. It's like that old man meme's like, fuck you, little boy.
He just teabags him the old time. No, okay, so honestly, like, this is like a great reason why churches should probably pay taxes.
I agree.
Like,
I do have a question. Like, so this was like a church cell phone, like not his own personal money?
Well, it was absolutely, I don't know about who owned the cell phone, but all of a sudden, since this guy got hired, they started being like, there's a lot of money missing. And they once they kind of like did a reverse, whatever, they traced it back, and it turns out that he was spending all this money from the parishioner on his cell phone games.
This doesn't bother me at all.
What?
He's not spending my money. My money was killing a guy in Ukraine. He's spending people's money that gave it in a bowl. So, like,
I don't know, dude. Don't your kids go to Catholic school?
Yeah. It's a good school.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I
my
want you to imagine
my son's failing religion, and I'm like, yes. It's like,
is that him in the corner?
It's straight A's.
Is that him in the spotlight?
Yeah. Oh, the REM?
Oh,
we're doing
sorry.
REM?
I know we're doing Misfits, but sorry. Yeah, sorry. No, but no, like, but I don't know. That doesn't bother you at all?
No, I was worried the priest was going to say Friday night I took my lover's virginity.
There we go. They have 20 eyes on them. All right, so
that's a song.
That's how you. That's how you get hate breeders.
Listen, I write songs to make the whole world tear each other limb from limb. So
wow.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. Is it bad that I'm not getting his lyrics? I'm just assuming. Oh my God! You know he's.
I don't even know if you like Misfits.
Honestly, Jake's got some attitude.
Dude, I'm like an AI art prompter. Oh,
got some fucking attitude.
Oh, I'm gonna feel the floor.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. There we go. It's just what if like the next just 20 minutes are just like shouting out like Misfits lyrics.
This is fun for me. I'll look at the analytics. I'll be like, this is where we started making Misfits puns. When it's just like everyone left.
Viewers dropping.
Yeah.
All right. So, but anyway, okay. So I've got like I guess. You could say this religion, adjacent, right?
Sure.
So since we're talking about the Catholic Church, But Duke University, they invited a Jewish speaker out for the graduation, right?
Okay.
And you could watch it happening, but this Jewish speaker comes out, and a whole bunch of students that are pro Hamas got up and left.
I don't even like hummus. Sorry, that's dumb. That's stupid. Okay, what? That's silly.
It's just made with garbanzo beans or chickpeas.
Okay, sure.
You know how to tell the difference? Well, if you don't know the difference between a garbanzo bean or a chickpea, I've never paid $100 to have a garbanzo bean on my face. Okay. Sorry, I was too excited for that.
You see, I just sat back. I was like, here he goes. It's like when a ship's launched. Like, just let him have it. It's like,
yeah. All right. So anyway, no. So the all the pro Hamas grads, they walked out.
Okay.
Now I didn't tell you who the Jewish speaker was, but I'll give you a hint. Why are all these people leaving?
It's fucking Seinfeld?
Yeah, dude, Jerry Seinfeld. Seinfeld was the speaker at a Duke University graduation, and people walked out.
That's almost like a Nazi level response. You know what I mean? Just for even the Nazis be like, I love Seinfeld though.
Yeah,
but
come on,
you
dude.
have to. There had to be a couple Hamas that were drug out of there.
Yeah.
You said you committed.
Just doing a bass line.
Yeah, that'd be great. Kramer's like, ah!
Yeah, Kramer's coming out. It's like, no, you can't. You're still not good. You have to
Actually, for what it's worth, now that you say that, and I got laughed at earlier this week. It's like those commencement speeches, and normally I think they're all bullshit. I saw a clip of what he said, and I actually really agreed with it.
What Jerry said?
What Jerry said.
Oh, I didn't see this.
So what Jerry said is, it was a smart way.
I thought he was doing some emo shit with Sarah.
No. It was a smart way to communicate to these kids. He basically said, please don't lose your sense of humor. He's like, your sense of humor is one of your best defense mechanisms.
Oh, for sure.
Because you're going to experience stuff that's difficult to deal with, and the sense of humor is a defense mechanism to deal with tragedy in your life. And he goes, you guys are great. You're the best generation ever, but I got to tell you, all you're going to make when you're older is a different version of a messed up world. And I really agreed. He's kind of doing this new villain arc where he's like, I'm telling it how it is. But I do agree that he's right in the sense of like, it's really important to have a sense of humor about stuff, because it's like, I know personally, like, I don't know. I don't know if you're the same way, but like, dude, I feel bad, but like, if something sucks, I immediately make it a joke.
Dude, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, haven't you seen the thing? I saw a thing that it really spoke to me. It said, did you have a happy childhood, or are you funny?
Well, yeah. That's right. It's where it's just like, and like actually Adam and I, we got kicked out of not kicked out of a funeral. I had to leave one time because Adam and I, we're always treated like the problem. Like we were sitting at the funeral, and we were at a funeral of someone whose father had frozen to death. And Adam and I were doing what we're supposed to do. We were sitting
fine.
there. We were fine. We're sad. We're doing what we're supposed to do. And our fucking friend just leaned between us and just said, popsicle.
You can't say popsicle to me when a man froze to death.
And then from the outside appearance, it looks like I couldn't take it anymore. So I head in my hands, I had to leave because I was overcome with emotion. I was hiding my laughter because that was the fucking funniest thing I had ever.
Over.
I was actually mad I didn't think of it. I will say, like, I think Jerry, it's actually worth looking it up, and I know it's one of those like, they turn it what he says into a speech, but I think he has a good point to where he's just like, he's like, I'm 7 years old. He's like, I'm done. You're not. You're fresh. You're new. Do not throw away your best weapon, which is a sense of humor. And I really agree with that.
I do think it's funny that I saw this meme because I speak fluent meme. Fluent meme rather, but
it's a cartouche.
But it said, how did a generation raised by South Park and The Simpsons get so sensitive?
Thank you.
Yeah. But okay, so I'm gonna go into my next one.
Yeah.
Do you know have you heard of the installation called The Portal?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyone? You guys have?
Yeah.
Okay, so it is a visual live stream between New York and Dublin where citizens of both cities can smile and wave at each other.
For YouTuber, I'll put up a little clip.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. It's really neat. Like, right? And you can watch videos of it, and I've been watching it for a bit, and then it got recently paused
of course
due to a few incidents. And in true American form, an OnlyFans chick, she came out and flashed the Dublin viewers, right? Trying to get, clicks or whatnot.
They made a visual Call of Duty. Like,
All right.
This is
Yeah. And then in a separate incident, in true Irish hilarity, right? A Dubliner held his phone up to show show New Yorkers a photo of the burning Twin Towers. And
it's like we got to hit the library real quick and think of something that happened in your past. We just hold up a fucking eye laden potato. It's like, what do you think of that? It's spoiled.
Skinny, spindly, blight-ridden potato.
Yeah.
Like, there you go, you fucking famine bitches.
We'll see you in 3 months on a boat at Ellis. This turned into a nice internet fight.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that I'm not exactly what you consider, I think, by definition, a mover and shaker in Washington, me personally, but I do think that
you did watch a few House of Cards seasons.
I've seen enough to know.
Yeah,
but I do think that like that kind of shit is how you suddenly get suspicions that your country's harboring weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah,
like if you're gonna sit there,
we're finally gonna fix this NRA problem.
Yeah, there you go, exactly. So.
Actually, you had said something that I wanted to touch on earlier. You said seamless.
Was it the priest?
No, you said seamless,
okay.
And it reminded me of something. Do you remember the term the eunuch maker? We covered it like years ago. There was a...
Was that the guy, was he like putting online that he would cut your dick and balls off?
Yes.
Okay.
So the self-styled eunuch maker who mutilated paying customers and streamed it online has been jailed.
It was all consensual.
Yeah, people paid him to do it. He called it extreme body modification, which is actually kind of the field we're in. It's essentially backyard surgery. Maurice Gustafsson admitted...
That sounds like a dick cutter.
Yeah,
offer.
So he was sentenced to a minimum term of 22 years, admitted offenses including... I said dick cut off because seamless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Offenses...
Dude, why do we have that seam on our balls?
You know when they make plastic molds?
No, be serious. Gents, male listeners, look down.
You know what's going to...
Why do you have the seam on your balls?
You're going to hate this, but it's probably the
taint?
same seam under your tongue.
Oh, my God. Well, they don't line up. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Not that I've tried. Twice.
Maurice Gustafsson admitted offenses including 5 counts of causing grievous bodily harm. He was described at a 3-day sentencing at the Old Bailey as, quote, a lunatic, an arch manipulator, and a butcher. Let's see here.
This is like getting this is like charging Dr. Kevorkian. You know what I mean? Honestly, like if you're a consenting adult and you can do it yourself, but you're just asking for someone else's help.
Well, I will say he earned almost 300,000 pounds from his website, having amassed 22,841 visitors. Like, who's that one guy from across the globe who paid to view gruesome footage? Probably all kids. Subscribers paid a yearly 100-pound subscription that would entitle a VIP status where victims were promised money
Very
from the video
penis.
revenue. This was the worst part. Court documents also showed Gustafsson used his business to sell human tissues gathered from the procedure with references to a buy it now button.
Okay. I mean, like, what do you mean? Like, what would it link it to?
What he cut off.
Oh, you could buy that?
Yeah. So that was like the this is one of those things where it's like isn't there some old saying where it's like new technology will always be followed by new laws? And it's because basically you invent new terrible things.
So I did not know this, but I actually listened to a podcast recently. It's Dan Cummins. It's this Time Suck podcast. And it's a
great podcast.
I looked it up just now. It's Short Suck number 9. It's about the U.S. human body trade.
Okay.
And we talked about this a few episodes back. Do you remember where there was that? Go ahead.
I'm gonna guess here. Is this where the guy thought his mother was buried, but it actually been sold to the army to test claymores?
Not claymores, but IEDs. But yeah,
essentially, yeah.
And like, but Dan goes into great detail, and I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna try to send listeners off on it.
I'd say the body density of an old dead woman cannot be the same body density of a 19-year-old male. So these tests are flawed.
Well, no, all I want to say is that like I guess there's like a ton of like at least in the U.S. that you and I literally now you and I for like $300 could buy like a human spine.
What are we doing here?
I don't. But like,
why are we?
Subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah. Oh my God. There we go. Jake hit us with a Patreon promo.
Dude, we can make a like a spine chair.
That'd be like a London dungeon.
Wait.
You know, like a.
Wait, I got some,
yeah.
I got something for this.
Hold on a second.
No, you could be like, I'm killing the entire human race with my army of space zombies.
Oh, there we go. Astro zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that would be like if you're, your face dropped in a pile of flesh. But seriously, like that is like a legit like listener viewer recommendation to listen to The Short Suck by Dan Cummins.
I will
Short
listen
Suck
to that.
number 9. Yeah. It's like, I don't know, it's like 30 minutes or something like that. But it talks about, he goes into detail how you and I, as long as we say that we're doing it for research, and it's so muddy that we could say we're doing it for research for an episode that we're doing.
For what it's worth, and this is not like a joke or anything like that, but like I would like to get a human skull just for drawing purposes.
You can buy a human head for like $300.
I don't want the head. I want the skull, and it's just because like I have a.
Are you saying you want our skull?
I want the skull.
That was the first Misfits song, by the way. Me as a teenage boy, Skulls was the first Misfits song that got me into the Misfits. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
That one?
Yeah, it literally was.
Well, the thing was, it's like I have a friend in Appleton, and he has a tattoo shop. And when I was there, I guess I haven't been around enough sculptures to be struck by one, but he had one that was striking. It was a human skull, and basically it was under like a dome of glass, a bit like the Beauty and the Beast under the rose type glass. But it was a human skull, and there was it was real butterflies, taxidermied, coming out of what was a shattered skull. And what I was surprised, like we have a fake skull at the shop, and I use it for like drawing exercises. What I was really surprised by was the texture difference of actual bone versus the one we have at the shop.
Yeah.
The one at the shop is very much plastic. It's good rendered plastic, but like this looked like Lay's potato chips, like a crumbly, and so I do remember thinking
Lay's potato chips.
I do remember thinking like for a drawing prop, I would like to get an actual skull, but there's lots of like red tape around it.
Yeah,
but I guess
turns out like and actually Dan even goes into detail like how you could buy this, like seriously.
Okay,
it's crazy.
I'm getting a skull.
But yeah,
I want your skull.
So subscribe to our Patreon, and you can see that shit in the background. But no, I'll tell you, like Jake and I, we've talked about it in the past, but the Muter Museum.
Yes.
In Philadelphia, you can go to the Muter Museum, and you can see on display they have tons of skulls. That like you can see like different skulls, like it'll say like Gypsy died of syphilis like 1872, and just like this rotten eaten away skull. It's pretty intense stuff.
Yeah, they had like a 260-pound colon, which I believe is a record.
I can't remember the weight, but it was the world's largest colon.
It looked like a full anaconda.
It looked like me after Thanksgiving thirds.
Yeah. And I really love they're like, no photos. You cannot take pictures, but you can
remains.
buy the pictures we took in the
exactly.
gift shop on the way out.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. But okay, do you want to end on a catfish?
Yeah, let's end on a
catfish. All right, let's wrap this 138 up. Because what
do you got? I got one here.
Let's hear it.
All right.
Botching it.
When children reach puberty, they lose all conscience and self-restraint, indulging in vapid fornication, contracting STDs, and running away from home. Attempting to prevent this is futile. Children in heat, Misfits. There you go.
Thank you.
I remember that from a song I listened to all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really nice when you read it. Okay, so, all right, so.
You don't.
Here's the last.
I wanted to get it right.
Honestly, like, name 3 songs by the Misfits right now, Jake.
We Are 138. Last Caress. Teenagers from Mars. Bullet.
I set him up so well. He should have been like Stairway to Heaven.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Rolling in the Deep.
Yeah.
And whatever that song is called. We are never,
Free Bird.
ever getting back together.
Oh, yeah. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem.
Yeah. So. There. Okay. All right. So we'll end on a catfish. Number 1. Montana camper sparks forest fire with full moon attempt to scare away werewolves. Number 2.
Okay.
Nevada hikers 911 report of Slender Man tailing resolves in a case of misidentified hiker with alopecia. Number 3.
I hope that's real.
Number 3.
The cops showed up like, some teenagers called the cops because you look fucked up. You look fucking creepy.
Number 3. Oklahoma fisherman believed friend was going to sacrifice him to Bigfoot and send him down the river.
All right, so I'm gonna guess the theme is cryptids. We got werewolf. We got
no, it was outdoorsy stuff. We got camper, hiker, and a fisherman.
No, we got werewolf, Slender Man, and what was the last one? Bigfoot. Yeah.
Isn't it weird? It's frustrating to me that Bigfoot, in the plural form, is Bigfoots and not Big Feet. Isn't that weird?
Wouldn't it be big feet? Like
no, it's Bigfoots.
Prius is pre. When a bunch of them.
No, I'm just saying. I'm gonna pre my.
Yeah, I guess.
Right
Yeah,
now.
no, it's Bigfoots.
Yeah, isn't it weird? It's Bigfoots. Like if you had like I don't know.
Are there colloquial terms for like a group of bears, slough, pod of whales? What's a bunch of Bigfoot?
A Payless.
I don't hate
Oh,
that.
it's
That's
a Nike Go-Go. Come on, was that 12?
That was like 20.
Oh yeah.
We're up there.
All right. So anyway, number 1. Montana camper sparks forest fire with full moon attempt to scare away werewolves. Number 2. Nevada hikers 911 report. Did I add too many ones? Nevada hikers 911 report of Slender Man tailing resolves as a case of identified hiker. What?
That's a toe jam.
Oh, it's really called toe jam?
A toe jam
the
of
fuck out of
Bigfoot? A toe jam of Bigfoot?
What's a bunch of
plural
Loch
one?
Ness monsters called? Is it called a Nessie?
A toe jam of Bigfoots is a group of Bigfoots.
I really like that though.
Oh my God, I'm adding that to the third one.
Okay.
All right, so number 1, Montana camper sparks forest fire with full moon attempt to scare away werewolves. Number 2, Nevada hikers 911 report a Slender Man's tailing resolves in a case of misidentified hiker with alopecia. Number 3, Oklahoma fishermen believe friend was going to sacrifice him to a toe jam of Bigfoots. I can't believe that's the plural. I love it. It's so good. It's so stupid.
I'm going to go with the one that my brain literally gave me a video of. It's number 2.
Okay.
And it's a hiker being approached by the police being like, some kids think you look fucking weird. And he's like, I
can't grow hair.
They got to make a Powder sequel.
Oh,
yeah.
Hybrid Moment is actually like my favorite my favorite Misfits song. I love that song. All right, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2.
I mean, we all try to mask our fear
right.
and sickness behind a cool facade.
Oh, here we go. All right, is that cough cool?
It is.
I love.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like the first Misfits
And I'm just
song
like, you try to hide, but feel the heat as death.
Oh my God,
That's
he's
another
about to
one.
get a shotgun blast of demon piece of lead.
Nah, I'm recalling from songs I
All right, so anyway, all right, so this actually just happened. I was truly nervous you'd already seen it.
Okay.
This just happened April 2024. Now, granted, this happened after like 2 years of court shit. Okay.
Okay.
A fisherman admitted to killing his buddy because he planned to feed him to Bigfoot after summoning the mythical creature, according to Oklahoma prosecutors.
Oklahoma people are stupid.
God damn it, Oklahoma fucking twister.
I bet he lives in. I bet he lives in that
Fucking
like
cranking it with double fisting it.
he lives
Oily
in that fucking,
Derrick hands.
He lives in that slavery rectangle. That
Yeah,
was given
exactly.
away.
So, man, I don't. What do you think it'd be like Juneteenth? What episode did we talk about that?
It's probably Juneteenth.
Okay, we're
honestly.
actually coming up on. I think next month will be our. Will be June. Next month will be Juneteenth,
Yeah.
and so I think it's 85A. 85A, I believe, episode. So if you're not sure what Juneteenth is, you can listen to Non-Essential Podcast episode 85A.
I hate.
And
your
I
memory.
have. What's that?
I hate your memory. Like it's good.
Well, Renee talks us through that. So,
Yeah.
anyway, Larry Sanders was fishing with his friend Jimmy Knighton when Sanders suddenly strangled Knighton after claiming to see Sasquatch-looking creatures downstream.
You said after 2 years of court stuff. So
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet.
okay. So
Okay,
all right.
so this just came out. Okay, but it's been going on litigation.
Like,
Going
can
on
you
for 2
murder
years.
someone and then just blame insanity?
We're talking about it right now.
Okay.
Okay, so the sheriff said
It's a toe jam coming. It's like, I'm getting jammed up.
all right, so do you know the difference between jelly and jam?
No, I don't.
Can't jelly my dick in your ass. All right, so the sheriff said, so his statement was that Mr. Knighton had summoned Bigfoot to come and kill him, and that's why he had to kill Mr. Knighton. This is all going to make sense in a moment.
I'm listening.
Okay.
I have a lot of questions.
So nearly 2 years later, a judge convicted Sanders of murder, saying, yes, there was a monster in the woods that night, but it wasn't a Bigfoot. It was Larry Sanders. Now, back in July 9th, 2002,
Judges just need to say you're guilty. They don't need to like tie it together like the end of a fucking book. It's just like, or a CSI episode. Like,
I didn't need to add this part because honestly, a lot of times like these articles are kind of longer, so I'll like edit out and I'll just like leave the juice, right?
Yeah.
But I have to say, it was so good because I'm really painting the picture here. Back on July 9th, 2022, Sanders and Knighton were noodling, a method of fishing where a person is submerged in water and uses their bare hands to catch a catfish by shoving the arm in the fish's mouth.
Yeah, I know noodling is. We've all seen these videos.
The most hick thing to fish with. But now, during their expedition...
I think noodling looks fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
During their expedition, Sanders claimed he saw 3 Sasquatch-looking figures by the river and believed Knighton was going to kill Sanders and send his body down the river as a snack for the Bigfoot creatures, or as the toe jam of them. Now, Sanders this is the best part. Sanders waived a jury trial and claimed he acted in self-defense. His fate was determined by a judge during his last week's trial, with a judge listened to the testimony from a forensic psychiatrist and said Sanders suffered from meth-induced psychosis. So if you're on meth and noodling, you probably kill your friends if you think you see Bigfoot.
Does this happen on the Tiger Ranch? Like that was Oklahoma, wasn't it?
I don't know, man. But I like.
I would have to, if I was a judge, I'd have to recuse myself because I'm like, I cannot listen to this without laughing.
I mean, all I have to say is that like this, besides like the Jack Link's beef jerky smear campaign, I just have to say like I thought Bigfoots were vegetarians.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. There's no established lore of meat eating.
I know.
There's never been one instance where someone's like they were eaten by Bigfoot or killed by Bigfoot or even attacked by Bigfoot. There are some erotic fan fictions of getting fucked by Bigfoot.
Oh my God, there is.
There's some ladies that make like 7 figures a year writing.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
We talked about that like years ago. Yeah. Do you remember that? There's a whole series of like Bigfoot fucking porn.
Which sounds stupid, but then that Way of the Water won movie of the year. That was about getting fucked by a fish.
I'm just saying like, what's that joke? My dick might not be 12 inches, but it smells like a foot.
That's a real toe jam.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I think we should end it.
Yeah.
It's been the Night of the Living Dead here.
Yeah. This has been a great episode. Thank you so much, everybody, for attending and coming.
Yes. Yeah. And subscribe to our Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Please, Jake, tell them how to find it.
Go to patreon.com. Look up Non-Essentials Podcast. We really do appreciate it because, like, believe it or not, this does take a fair amount of effort. And, like, I really enjoy the feedback, and I love hearing that people have a good time listening. Because I have a good time doing this. Drinking.
Jake has a good time drinking and listening about plural forms of Bigfoots.
Yeah.
And go to CabinLaughs.com, buy your tickets, and national acts every day, or I'm sorry, every week.
It really is. It really is a gem.
And then last but not least, Dead City Roasters.
Oh, yes.
Yep. Go to deadcitycoffee.com or Dead City Coffee on Facebook or Dead City Coffee on Instagram. So there you go.
All right. I think I'm out of Misfit quotes.
Let me hear one more.
We grow weary of excessively eating brains. We do not understand why we can't be given something better or muster the will to obtain it ourselves.
He's reading it like he was doing Cardi B lyrics.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? That dumb shit?
Yeah.
All right. I'm Adam Legacy Brutality Riley.
Yeah. Did we say I want your bones?
You want my boner?
Oh, that's
all right.
That
yeah.
That
right.
is good.
Later,
I got something to say. All right.
Later, boners.
Bye.